What is up, everybody? It's Steve here today, and we're going to talk about this post that's been so much circulating on social media about the best controller ever tournament that this BAFTA Games has hosted. Now, this is the British Academy Game Awards. I've never heard of this before till today, but they have decided which controller is the best controller of all, and it's the Dualsense controller. So, very odd choice. They say this is the best controller of all controllers that have released. So we're going to look at this and then talk about it, talk about what people have to say about this. So this is the picture. We're going to start with this side first. When the first rounds was like the DualSense versus the Nintendo 64 controller, which makes sense. The DualSense won in that instance. I don't think anybody has a problem with that. The Nintendo 64 controller was very terrible. Then you had the Kinect controller versus the Wii nunchucks. The Kinect was, I don't think most people care about the Kinect, to be honest. Wow, the Wii nunchucks started the whole motion, the big craze for motion controls, especially with the Wii bowling and Wii sports and stuff like that. So this definitely makes sense why this is up there, why this won. Guitar Hero controls versus Dance Dance Revolution Dance Pad. It's like, I don't know why we really count these, but I guess it makes sense this one. GameCube controller versus NES controller. GameCube controller won. People still use this thing to this very day. You can still buy these things in stores for especially for Smash Bros. So I can definitely see why this one. Now on this side right here, we have the Xbox. I think the Xbox Series controller, the Elite controller, versus the Dreamcast controller. It's obvious why the Xbox Series controller won. This is pretty much like the only Xbox controller you have on this list. So. And we know how legendary the Xbox controllers are, so this is no shocker about this one. The DualShock 2 controller versus the Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons. I can see why this one, because the Joy-Cons had so many different complaints about it at first, so especially with the Joy-Con drift issue. So I can see why this one, and its controller is legendary for fighting games, so I can see that. I have no idea what this is, right? I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea what this is. This is way before my time. Both of these controls are before my time. So this is like a whole command station. So I don't know what this is. I'm pretty sure somebody older is probably gonna tell me what this is right here. I think this might be like a Target or something. I'm not sure. So you have these two, and you have the SNES controller and the Sega Genesis controller. So like I said, this is definitely before I start playing video games. I don't know about these either, so we just go with right here. And it pretty much ended up being to compare it to the final face-off was pretty much against the DualShock 2 versus the DualSense controllers. So yeah, this is kind of bizarre. There's like only one Xbox controller at the end of the day, and Xbox 360 controller is not even on here. So definitely a spooky list right here that I don't think most people agree with. That's like Sony fanboys are definitely going with this win right here for the DualSense one. The DualSense has a lot of complaints. For one thing, the joystick has the same drift issue with the PS5 controllers as well, which is a big problem. And it's like the battery dies so fast, so I don't know how this is the best controller. I would probably give it to like the Xbox 360 controller is the best controller. The Xbox Series controller, but that got defeated by the DualSense in this poll right here. So yeah, I don't agree with this poll, but this is what they gave it, so it's their opinion. So, well, let's see what we have to say about this right here. The actual F. He says the Xbox Series controller lost to the DualShock 2. Yeah, I don't see how I lost either, but PS2 was a great generation, but that still doesn't make sense how that beat that controller though. I'm a big PlayStation fanboy as the next guy, but how the F did the Xbox controller get beaten by the DualShock 3? That S was the worst to hold. The DualShock 2, yeah. As simple as that, no other gamepad comes closer. Definitely the best controller in my opinion. He's definitely not biased because he has a profile picture. The fact that the Elite controller for Xbox didn't make it past the second round makes this whole thing whack. Yeah, definitely don't agree with that. 360 will never be beat. Yeah, they didn't have a 360 controller. Just the disrespect for the 360 controllers. Like that's like literally one of the best controllers ever made, but it's not even nominated. That was just wild. No Xbox 360 controller at all. Doesn't make any sense. Let's see. A lot of people saying on 360 controller, BS. Yeah, the DualSense, when it has the most complaints right now to all the controllers. Like I legit had the whole, I even had the drift issue of my PS5 controller. I had to return it, so yeah, it's kind of wild that one. That was like the best one. When I see people constantly complain about the controller, so it doesn't make any sense. LOL, how the Elite didn't even reach the finals doesn't make any sense. Real question is, why isn't a 360 controller up there? Where is the PS4 controller? The PS4 controller is garbage. It makes sense why they have the PS5. At least the DualSense is like the better version of the PS4 controller, but the PS4 controller is garbage. And it felt like just weak plastic, like a cheap plastic controller. So at least the DualSense got some weight to it, which makes it a lot better. PS5 DualSense is the best controller ever made. People are saying the DualSense is the best controller. No 360 love, what the F? Yeah, it's kind of weird because that has a lot of controller got the whole template off the 360 controller. So, especially like the Wii U Pro Pad has template off 360 controller. So, that controller definitely left a big mark on gaming. So, it's kind of weird it's not even nominated. But they put the Kinect in there. They're like, who the hell gave crap about the Kinect to be nominated? Like, really? Dreamcast controller is better than the Xbox Elite and it's not even close. Are people really said the DualShock 4 over the DualSense? I don't agree with that. Yeah. Let's see. The Switch Pro controller is so underrated. That thing lasts for a long time. The Switch Pro, or like unlike that thing lasts for a long time too for a one charge. Lasts a lot longer than the DualSense, that's for sure. I mean, the DualSense is a revolutionary controller as much as I dislike the adaptive triggers. The haptic feedback is so awesome. Okay. 360 gamepad is still the GOAT in my opinion, but not listed here. They didn't even include the 360 controller rigged. A lot of people are gonna keep saying that because it doesn't make any sense. Like, this is definitely a biased controller right here. Let's see. Having an old DualShock be the Xbox Elite controller is nuts. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me either. How did the DualShock beat the Joy-Cons? Yeah, the Joy-Cons are kind of terrible. Yeah, bottom cells, it was kind of awful. I don't like using Joy-Cons bottom cells. It was like you play handheld or just play with a pro controller. Yeah. Yeah, some people are not, like most of like Sony guys are enjoying this poll, but everybody else who like average person is not agreeing with this poll whatsoever. It's like, it's kind of rigged to begin with, but like, how do you not have the best controller on here, which is 360 one? It's not even nominated. The Nintendo Switch Pro controller would have been giving any of those controllers a really good run for their money. I'm not gonna lie, but the SNES controller being as high as it is, and the PS2 controller being the Elite controller is quite possibly the funniest thing ever. Yeah. Let's see. I gotta admit, the DualSense is my most used controller on PC. Yeah. There's definitely some old controllers right here. Yeah, the DualSense is the best game controller I've used in my 42 years of gaming. Well deserved. Yeah, this is. I like the DualSense, but y'all mad for picking it over the GameCube controller. Yeah, it's like DualSense hands down, not even close. Really? I mean, it's just the better version of the PS4 controller. It's just heavier, just like because it's heavier, and you get the haptic feedback. But other than that, same thing as a PS4 controller. I mean, of course, the PlayStation System controller would win. It's the more popular console, but seriously, the PS2/PS3 controller beating Xbox Elite. They felt like a toy that you would break in seconds. The DualShock 4 would have been an argument, but no, not on the DualShock 2/3. Okay. Who made these brackets? Effing GameCube controller almost fluked as goofy as to the top. Okay. It's pretty funny. So I'm going to conclude it right here. Definitely want to see your thoughts down below. Leave a like for this video. As always, thanks for watching, and peace.